Hope y'all are having a good day. It's Saturday here in Fort Pope. Just doing my thing, hoping I can get something done today. Ain't much fun sitting around this room. I'll tell you. I'm trying to work out again and stuff. Stay busy, do stuff. But got to sight in my new red dot on my new AR on Thursday, so that was fun. Able to find some 5.56 for $8.99 a box, and that's the cheapest 5.56 I've seen anyone recently. I want to see if I can find buy some more bulk stuff, like in a big old crate or something like that. That's like ammo that's that cheap. It was just basic 55 grain, full metal jacket, nothing fancy. And very cheap stuff. By the way, look, it's only 65 proof. It may not be that strong, but let me tell you, it's good. It's like, I could have got the clear, but I was like, I'm not trying to fight nobody. I'm just trying to drink and chill, so I got this stuff. Old Smoky Tennessee Moonshine, peaches. Gatlinburg. I love Gatlinburg. Anyway, I haven't been in Gatlinburg in years, man. Anyway, so I just watched a YouTube channel I've been enjoying for a while now, probably about a year. Gentleman in Alabama by the name of plowboysghost is his channel name. So a little context on that and why I watch his channel. His videos are a lot about older firearms and stuff like that, like old school revolvers and stuff like that, like single action stuff. Now, again, if you're not a gun nut like me, you probably have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Which, it's fine. It's just, I have what I'm into, I like guns. So, it's, in my opinion, there are a few good channels about this stuff, but there's some that are better than others, and I think and some that definitely do a lot more of their homework. In my opinion, some of the best YouTube channels on single action stuff and black powder, besides plowboysghost, because I love his channel, is BLACKIE Thomas, Dustin Winegar, what's his name? DukeFrazierProductions, Duelist 1954. And actually, fun fact about him, so he's from York, Pennsylvania, and my dad was born in Williamsport, which is more like middle of the state, and grew up in more like Western New York State, up in the Finger Lakes region. But so basically, that's where my family's from, pretty much, is Finger Lakes region, Western New York State. But anyway, so like I know York County, I know the area of Pennsylvania very well, and I'm kind of surprised I never ran into him somewhere, because I used to hang out there a lot. I used to go farther, south, closer to the Maryland border, and used to hang out in Gettysburg. If any of y'all haven't been to Gettysburg, you're missing out. It's a beautiful place, and yeah. So anyway, and if you're ever in Devil's Den, let's just say, like, I never saw or heard nothing there, like, paranormal or whatever, but I do distinctly remember walking around through Devil's Den. It's just a bunch of pile of boulders with basically paths in them, and I just remember walking through, and I stopped somewhere, and it was like, it's almost like having an anxiety attack, because unfortunately, I'm not trying to I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me, but I do have issues with that shit. So I know what it feels like, like your heart was beating really fast and stuff like that. But this was similar, but it's different, because it was like I had needles in my back. Like it's hard to describe, but it was just a very intense feeling. And Gettysburg is a powerful place. A lot of people died there, and I think a lot of Civil War battlefields, war between the states, I prefer to say. Honestly, I mean, war of federal aggression is probably the best way to call it. But anyway, I'm not gonna go down that path. But yeah, it's a lot of people died there. Anyway, that was all rabbit trail. What am I making this video about? So that was just in context on that channel, and why I watch him and how I found his stuff. But regardless of what your channel topics usually are, everybody's talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. And plowboysghost did a video on it, and it kind of inspired me to do this video. But basically, you know, I have my own opinions on it, and I've had conversations with this about people. Most people I've talked about it are in agreement. You know, uh, well, I actually had a conversation with my mother. I love her to death. I disagree with her on this stuff, and I'll say that here. But shit, this thing's on. It's not on right. Didn't even notice that. Anyway, you know, we were talking about this stuff, and in some ways we had to agree to disagree, because she doesn't personally think that Kyle should have been there when he was there with an AR, and you know, stuff like that. And I like, just because, you know, you know, it was a situation just kind of asking for trouble. But I mean, she also thinks that, you know, he has the right to be free because it was self-defense. So it's just kind of like somewhere in the middle on that whole situation. And me, like, I'm all the way. I think he did everything absolutely right. You know, me growing up with some, well, not some, a lot of Bible reading and stuff like that, and a lot of like faith. You know, coming from a family that has a lot of faith, or whatever. Which, you know, to be honest, I could probably be better at. I should be more involved with that part of my life. Unfortunately, I've been slacking on that, but that's another rabbit trail. You know, I try to base a lot of things that I believe based on what the Bible says, because from what I can tell, I do believe it's God's word 100%. Although, I mean, sure, the Catholic Church definitely took some books out and messed with some stuff. So, I mean, is the Bible we have today like absolutely purely exactly all right? I don't believe so, but I think most of it gets the point across of what was originally being said. But anyway, I take the Bible seriously in terms of like I believe in its standards of right and wrong. You know, what's sensible, what's not sensible, things like that. You know what I mean? Like I believe what it says. Okay. And the Bible has stuff to say about situations like this. The first one that comes to mind, I can't remember the exact reference because I don't, unfortunately, I never read my Bible enough. Like I said, I need to get more on that. But I do distinctly remember reading this. I think it's in Deuteronomy, but I'm not sure. If any of y'all watching this know your scripture's better than I do, I should better than I do because I was raised with it, so that's my fault. But if any of y'all remember the exact verse, go ahead and comment it down below because I wanna read it again and be able to like know it verbatim. But basically, it's in one of the first 5 books. You know, the law or the Torah, whatever you want to call it, right, of the Bible. And it says in there that if someone is in your dwelling, your house, or however you want to say it, you know, and they're not invited there, they're not welcome there, and they're there with malicious intent. You don't know what malicious intent. You don't know what they're intending to do, but they're there. They're not invited. They're not welcome, and they're in your place. It says that if you kill them, if you slay them, their blood is on whose head? It's on their head. Because, you know, you're, even if it's just your person, or, you know, or God forbid, you know, your family's there, you know, you got your wife and your kids sleeping in there, are you going to just let him just hope that he's not there to kill y'all, or hope that he's not going to lay a finger on them or on you? You're just going to hope and just gamble with that? I hope not. I hope not. I'm not. And so right there it says, you know, the Bible says, you know, your hands are clean. I think the best way to describe that, to look at that scripture, is your property, your place, where people you care about are at. And really, in Kyle's situation, and I think it applies, that can mean more than just your house. It can mean your town. It can mean your church. It can mean really anywhere where there's people that mean something to you. In the case of Kyle in Kenosha, Wisconsin, that's really in a lot of ways his town, because that's where his dad lives. That's where a lot of his family lives. So for people saying like, why was he there in the beginning? Well, you know, there's all these writers that are doing all this violent, terrible stuff, and he has a duty, I think, to protect his hometown, to protect his family, his you know, everything about the peace, you know, keeping the peace. You know, that's what he went there to do. Yes, he went there with an AR-15. You know what? Not only is it our Constitution the right to own, keep, and bear arms and have well-regulated militia, but, how do I say this? I just think he had every reason to be there with an AR because, you know, you don't know what you're gonna run into, and that's the thing. He didn't just come there with an AR and just looking to shoot people. No, like that's not what he was there for. And in the situation that ended up happening, he was not trying to engage anyone. He was avoiding negative conflict or contact as much as possible. It was his absolute last resort was to do what he had to do. But you know, he went there with with medical knowledge and you know, procuring medical supplies, you know, helping people out who are getting, you know, injured or whatever, or, you know, just making himself useful in any possible way he could to keep his hometown safe. You know, from people who would do it harm for what? For rioting for a piece of shit who was at the wrong place at the wrong time, was not listening to the officers, gave them every reason to think that he could very well have a gun in the vehicle and was reaching for it. Again, like, nobody with any will to live and survive is gonna take a gamble like that when you're actually in the situation. Just look at all the cases that happen every day. Have I been in that? No. But I know I'm not gonna be fucking gambling when it comes down to it. Well, let's say I'm not scared? No. No, if you say you're not scared, you're a fucking liar, in my opinion. Because, unfortunately, there are things in this country that should have repercussions that don't have repercussions. And there are things in this country that don't, that shouldn't have repercussions that do have very serious repercussions. One of those is self-defense. And there's a lot of states that have stand your ground laws, whatever, but the fact that there's even like these extended trials for someone being in your house uninvited and you doing what you did, whatever you had to do, that shouldn't even be a topic of discussion, really. It should be like you you do some paperwork or whatever, you answer a couple questions, it's over. You know what I mean? I get why there needs to be an investigation, but at the end of the day, your house is your castle. Hence castle doctrine. I don't believe that's just a law in the books. That's like a basic human right, just like self-defense and the right to own whatever and use whatever weapon you want to for your defense is your basic human right. It's not just constitutional. It's God-given. And the Constitution, the only reason it's there is to cement and protect those rights from a government that want to take it away from people. That's what it's there for. So, you know, Kyle's there to help people out, be useful, do what he can for his community. You know, doing his thing. And, you know, he ended up being in the situation that happened, and he had to do what he had to do. And to me, it really says a lot about, you know, I could say the left, but I don't even want to be that like basic, because if you think about it, I mean, you've got you've got weirdos on all sides. You've got, I mean, hell, I'm a registered Republican, but you know, unfortunately, that's just because this country has a two-party system, which was never intended. There's never supposed to be a two-party system that gives you an illusion of having choice, because it's, you know, it's one or the other. Like, it's not much of a choice, is it? But you know, I don't really care to associate myself with a political party because it has the word political in it. Politics is a bunch of smoke and mirrors, games, trick words, you know, virtue signaling. It's and it doesn't really do anything for normal people. It's just a game that people who are into that life and into that lifestyle, that world, I guess it's fun for them, but it negatively impacts the lives of normal everyday working people, whether they realize it or not. And if you think it doesn't affect you, you're fucking stupid. Okay? And you're making a choice that says, I don't care, not only do I not care about my life and what happens to me, I don't care what happens to my neighbor. I don't care if he's getting screwed out of, you know, a settlement, or if he's paying way too much taxes, you know, compared to what he should be, you know, or stuff like that. Whatever the case may be, like, you don't care that many people might not be as fortunate as you, or want to be, or are more hardworking than you and are more successful than you, but they're still getting screwed out of the opportunities that they are working for, that they deserve because of their hard work. Yeah, I'm not into politics. I'm into principles. Because that's what matters. Uh, and the Constitution is not a political document. It's a document about principles, American principles, human principles that shouldn't be just an American thing. It should be a global thing. Because everybody, I don't care if you're born in India or in fucking Siberia, I don't fucking know. Shit, Germany, South Africa, fucking, Japan, fucking somewhere in South America, like wherever in the world. The point is wherever in the world you are. No matter what your skin color is, no matter where you're from, no matter what your background is, or the politics in your country, you have basic human God-given rights. Some people wouldn't call them God-given. I believe they're God-given. Some people don't think that God gave you anything, but I disagree with those people. But that's your choice. And you're free to make it. You should be. Nobody should be forcing atheism down my throat. I don't need to be forcing God down no one's throat. I just believe what I believe. I choose to believe what I believe because I believe that what I've seen is real. What I've experienced is real. That's why I believe in the Bible. That's why I believe in God. So I believe all that stuff is real. I believe He's real. I believe He's watching me right now and probably not real happy with me, but I believe He's up there. And he sure as hell ain't happy what's going on in this country right now, in this world, for that matter. But going back to what I was saying earlier, to me it's very telling that people are so outraged, and people are saying that Kyle Rittenhouse is a white supremacist and he's this and that. It's like, do y'all just not really know? Are you not aware? Are you not tracking that, like, he killed 3 white people? Well, not 2 white people and shot a third. This was not even a white on black crime. This was not a hate crime. This was dude is getting attacked by a by a wife beater or a woman beater or whatever, a pedophile, and I don't know, some fucking fruity boy who shouldn't have had a pistol. But then again, it's not my choice to say you shouldn't have, but you shouldn't have. He had the right to, but he's not the type of person I would like, Anyway. Because people like him set a bad example for... Kyle Rittenhouse is a good example. Guys like the guy that had the pistol and tried to shoot him are a bad example of people who carry. A bad example. We don't claim that motherfucker. You hear me? We do not claim that guy. He is not one of us. Anyway, I'm gonna be done with this rant here. But basically, it's just sad to me that the left, just people are bitching about who he killed and making this some kind of race thing when everybody who he shot was white, and they were all pieces of shit, like garbage fucking people. Career criminal, woman beater, and a fucking pedophile. How the fuck are you taking up for a pedophile? And saying that you should protest and riot in remembrance of them. It's the same kind of stupid mentality, as when George Floyd's family gets in a folded American flag because somebody killed the type of fucking dude. And people say, oh, well, he might turn over a new leaf. We don't really know that. But we do know that he fucking put a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach. That he was a career criminal. He was a piece of shit. My honest opinion, Kyle Rittenhouse was at the right place at the right time, doing the right thing for the right reasons. Point blank, period. God bless him. Thank God he's free. His training was excellent. His marksmanship was excellent. That's all I gotta say on that, guys. We need more Americans like Kyle Rittenhouse. That's all I gotta say. And hey, I don't know if he's gonna see this, probably not, but hey, shout out to you, buddy, if you see this. Man. The good Americans are proud of you and are happy that you are free because you deserve to be. Because you did nothing wrong. And look, man, nobody wants I don't think any of us really wants to kill anybody, man. It's nobody. Oh, I'm just, you know, we don't wake up in the bed in the morning. Oh, I'm trying to sue him. Like, bro, like that kind of thing is our last resort. Just like it was Kyle's last resort. It's our last, very last resort, because we're peaceful people and we want people to get along and treat each other with respect and just be decent Americans. We don't have to agree on everything. Just be decent to each other. That's all anyone can ask, you know? You know, God did the right thing. And he was willing to sacrifice possibly his freedom and all this other stuff, you know, in his situation so that he could do the right thing. And a lot of us, I feel like a lot of people who think they're us say they're willing to go the distance, whatever. But I bet that about all the people who say, yeah, they'll ride and they'll do this and that, no. You don't want to give up your house and your comfy job and all this stuff. Like, and I get it. That stuff's important. A lot of y'all got families to think about. But look, the reality of this world is it's fallen. And in order to stay free, people have to sacrifice. And unfortunately, innocent people sometimes get hurt. And it's sad and it's awful and should be avoided as a last resort. But sometimes good people die for something that's bigger or greater than them. And so that future generations can be free and know what that means. So, you know, we're starting this internet culture and stuff like that. But like, how many people would really like, that's all I'm gonna say in that. Anyway, I love you guys. Any of y'all watching this, you have a blessed day. Have a good one.